to perform charity according to his potential. Perform charity, commentary. The Rambam does not state to give charity. Interesting. In addition to whatever money a person gives, he must act in charitable manner, perform deeds of kindness, and actually doing favor for his fellow men. So because why? Because charity will save one from death. So let's try to understand what Rambam is saying. So Rambam did not say give charity. So it's very easy just for a rich person or not such a rich person. It doesn't matter. The person just gives money and think that everything should be done, right? So just because he gave whatever $100, so now they have to, somebody is going to feed on his behalf all of the Jewish poor people in the town. Maybe not. Maybe somebody is going to steal. How do you know? Just because maybe they're going to buy the spoiled food or whatever. So I would say just take the addresses of these poor people and deliver yourself. Buy good stuff, whatever you would buy for yourself, buy and deliver to them. Right? So do acts of charity. You can. There are many acts of charity that you can do. I have some of my students. They say I don't have money, so how can I do the acts of charity? I always tell them there are many ways. Like you can talk to a person nicely. You know somebody is sick, go visit that person. Right? I mean,
I have a question here.
Yeah, it doesn't cost you much money. Go ahead, yes.
So I heard two terms that for me seems to be similar. One is Tzedakah, and the other is Chesed. Which is the difference, to be precise?
Okay, so Tzedakah, it's actually the more most of the time it's money that you give, but Chesed is kindness. So when you give money, for example, to poor people, you're doing the acts of kindness. And many times in Talmudic literature, or even in translation, they interchange the terms. Why? Because the Tzedakah is also tzedek, right? So it's what is it? It's like I'm looking for a word. When you establish the justice, right? So meaning that tzedakah, right? So when you establish the justice, so you have a little extra, but that person does not have even whatever you have. He has 10 times less. So you give him, I don't know, like you have $5, so you give him $1. Okay, you according to him, to that person, you're very rich. You have $5, but he has nothing. You understand? So you, in some sense, you build an injustice, giving that person money, right? So yeah, that's what it is. So, but in many cases, as we explained, when you do Chesed, so acts of kindness, it does not have to be money. So you know somebody is sick. Right, so somebody told me that person is unemployed, but the sick person gave this lady money, right? And then this lady went and then bought him food. You understand? And she bought him medicine and stuff like that. So it's also chesed. I mean, that does not cost money, but still acts of charity, right?
Can we say that charity is the same as Chesed?
Yes. In some say yes, in some sense. So you see, when you say tzedakah, right? When you say about money, right? If you're talking about money, so money you would give poor people, right? Let's say, right? But chesed, on another hand, it's act of kindness you can do with any person, because it's not about food. Rich people also get sick. You understand? And if just because he has money in a bank, that does not mean that he has food in the house, let's say, right? So he needs somebody to go to the store and bring him food and maybe cook. Just because he has money does not mean much. You understand? So even for this rich person, you can do Chesed, but Tzedakah is only limited, let's say, for poor people. You understand? So acts of kindness are more encompassing. All right. So one more time this B, and there is one more comment. So it's to perform charity according to his potential. So basically, don't kill yourself, right? So here's commentary 36. Many authorities view this expression as a limit, implied that even in such an act of Teshuvah, the person need not give beyond his potential. Accordingly, he should not contribute more than 1/5 of the income to charity, as prescribed Hilchot Matnos Ani. Okay, so let's try to understand. So even though like a person is fighting for his life, right, and he wants to give charity, in all of the religions and cults, they follow this Christianity, this Muslim, they will say, of course, the more you give, the more it's better for you, right? It's better for you. Give everything. Sell your mother even, right? Give us money. But here in Judaism, it's very strict. You're not allowed to give, right, more than 20%. So you have income, whatever you have income. So if the minimum, you give 10%, if you can, if you cannot, different story. But maximum you give 20%, and that's it. So, and our sages explain what is the rationale. Why? Because okay, you gave 40%, let's say, and tomorrow you're going to get poor. You're going to become poor, and now we would have to take care of you. Now we would have to find sponsors for you. So say, you know what? Take it easy. We have our poor people as it is. We don't need more. So don't create a burden for us with yourself. Just keep your money, right? Don't become poor and keep your money. So basically, of course, there is exception if a person has $100 million, so he does not need that much money to live, right? So in this case, maybe he can donate 80% or I don't know 90% and live pretty well.
I have one question.
Okay.
I have this question since long time ago.
Okay, let's try to see. Okay.
So I since the beginning almost, I was every time I have some income at my bank account, I reserve the 10% of every income, whatever it is, whatever is the source of this income.
Yes.
And I put aside in like a index fund, where that fund is growing interest every time. So can you give the interest that this accumulation of incomes of 10% of every income I have, can this be given to for Tzedakah?
Okay, so basically you asked very good question. So they say I actually it's Tzedakah, so you have to give as soon as they need. For example, they ask you every week, every month, so you give. But it's possible that this charity or whatever, nobody is asking for you any money, right? So I mean, you have extra, and you don't know who to give. So basically, it's not your money, as you said, right? You put a separate account, or you keep somehow you keep accounting of this extra money, and you can in some senses, so you can use this money. So in this case, whatever you did, they said don't invest this money into business, right? Because most likely you're never going to see this money, right? So keep it on different separate account because it's not yours, and you don't have any right to risk it. But in your case, there is no risk, so there is interest. So from this interest, you should pay 10%, and the rest of the interest you can keep. You don't have to. You're not obligated to give all of the interest. You understand?
So the exact case is maybe some people will benefit of this because I have one child and I have no income in reality from anybody, only from HaShem. But in theory, I have no income because I have this disability. I don't work.
Yes.
But I have a fund that I am able to give enough money to give to my child. So this counts as tzedakah, or I must find another way.
Rabbi asks, it's a separate story. It's a big topic. I don't want to answer just summary. I don't want to go of the topic. So up to a certain age, so I would say, I think if I remember correctly, up to 6. So father is obligated to feed his child. After that, he's not obligated. Of course, the Halachah changed a little over the years, and the United States forces us to support our children, but up to the certain age. So it's a big story. I don't want to go there. So basically, if a person is very poor, right? So his obligation to keep himself alive. You understand? So he would have to give the minimal tzedakah per year. There is I think it's half a shekel, but whatever is it in your currency, right? So it's a certain amount of grams of silver. So that the way I see it's very small coin. I mean, not very, but for the 1 year that's it. So if you give this, so at least you fulfill the biblical mitzvah. And the rest, of course, I mean, what is the point? A person is going to give him this money away, and then he's going to come to charity, ask for money, right? So it's not proper. Okay, so let's leave it for Halachah class. That's a huge. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm good.
Okay. All right. So continue. So next opinion. Tanya, Geretz Teshuvah, chapter 3, relates that in this instance, there is no need to comply with these restrictions. Just as a person would give up all his financial resources if his physical health was at stake, similarly, he should be willing to make overly generous donations to gain atonement for his sins. So, which is, as we understand, right? It's the Tanya, right? Is what is the Lubavitcher is itself. So he gives no. It's not Tanya. Is Balatanya. It's I think it's first Lubavitcher as itself, right? So he gives a very good suggestion, like a parallel. He draws very good parallel. So he said if somebody would need a surgery, right, and let's say his insurance company is not going to cover all of it. So he said, no, I only want to cover 20%. And let me die. No, the person said, okay, what do you want? The 80% of what I have, I'm going to give you 80%. What is it? It would not even enter most of the people mind, right? They would give the money. So he said that since his life is on the line in some sense, so you can do overly, how he puts it, overly generous donations. So in some, when they're trying to do teshuvah, so maybe as a one time, do more than 20%, but don't make it habitual. Basically, one time, in some sense, like I would say, like that to break a barrier, right? To get your merits in Shemaim and then continue. But it depends again where the person is going to give. So, and as we know by now, most of the charity is just he is going to get more sins than anything. Okay.